morning. And thank you to the Salvation Army Jubilee Brass under the direction of Bandmaster David Russell. We begin this morning by acknowledging that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Huron-Wendat, Adirondacks, Lenape indigenous peoples. This territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaties, including Treaty 6, the London Township Treaty. Once again, we are gathered on this cold November day as we approach the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And we will solemnly observe 2 minutes of silence. And during those 2 minutes of silence, we think of the sacrifice of thousands who gave up their future to secure ours. This ceremony that you are about to take part in is the act of remembrance, and it follows a protocol maintained over the years. Here today and across the land, civilians join with the serving and former members of the Canadian Armed Forces who have taken an oath to serve the country, to remember and honor those whose lives were cut short. And as we gather today on this Remembrance Day, we do more than honor those who have served. We also reflect on the significant milestones in our history. 80 years since VE Day and the liberation of the Netherlands. 80 years since the Battle of the Atlantic ended. 80 years since the war in the Pacific came to a close. 25 years since the unknown soldier was laid to rest. And 85 years since the Battle of Britain. These anniversaries deepen our remembrance. They remind us that the sacrifices made were not just in a single day, but part of a long history of service, courage, and peace. This cenotaph was consecrated in 1934, and today it serves as a marker, a headstone, if you wish, for those who died in conflict, in all peacekeeping operations and training exercises since Confederation, from World War I, World War II, Korea, and Afghanistan. This ceremony is like a graveside service, and each of the 118,000 who died is honored and remembered here today. When we hear that number 118,000, it's almost impossible to comprehend. Behind that number, there are 118,000 stories. Stories of courage, stories of futures suddenly cut short, stories of families facing heartbreaking loss, stories of comrades left to wonder why they were taken while others survived. Some of those stories are recalled not just today, but over a lifetime by the veterans of Parkwood who join us. And they are there in the buses that you see along Wellington and on Dufferin Street. We're honored to have them present as they keep their pledge to remember those with whom they served. And as well, there are veterans and others on the 12th floor of City Hall where they can observe the ceremony protected from the elements. And you can learn more after today's ceremony. The Remember November 11 organization is hosting a meet and greet in Centennial Hall. It's an opportunity to meet veterans and serving members of our Canadian Forces, and through their displays, learn more about the people who served and sacrificed. Our thanks today to the Salvation Army Jubilee Brass, conducted by Bandmaster Russell. And David Cunningham is once more our bugler. he will sound that last post in the rouse on the bugle handed down to him by his grandfather, who sounded the last post and rouse with that very bugle over 100 years ago at Vimy Ridge. The last post was played at the end of the day to signal that the sentry posts were manned and ready for the night. During Remembrance Day ceremonies, the last post symbolizes the death of a comrade. Our piper who will play the lament is Scott Shaw. And also contributing with music today will be the Catholic Central Chamber Choir and their conductor, Mrs. Shauna Swain. They will lead us in the singing of the anthems and the hymns and a special composition titled In Remembrance as we prepare for the laying of the wreaths. The event today is organized by the Royal Canadian Legion, the City of London, the Canadian Forces, and the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. The parade commander is Lieutenant Colonel Ian Haley, and the reviewing officer today, HMCS Prevost Commander Janet Lang. Your parade was led by the London Police Pipes and Drums, the Canadian Forces Flag Party, Silver Cross Mothers, the Veterans Guard, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Moore, the Canadian Forces, HMCS Prevost, the 31 Canadian Brigade, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and the RCMP Retirees Association, the City of London Police Firefighters and EMS, followed by community groups and members of the Canadian Forces Cadets. Our parade chaplain is Colonel the Right Reverend Nigel Shaw. And today, Angela Cameron Jolly will fulfill the traditional role of the Silver Cross Mother. And now, will you please join us in singing our national anthem, O Canada.
All right! Attend! Ha!
shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. We continue with Abide With Me, printed in your bulletin.
Parade! Standards! Hey!
As we gather in this place of sacred memory, may these words I share now be for some the prayers of your heart, for others a reflection of your heartfelt thanksgiving, and for all, may these words speak to our duty to remember. We are gathered today, hearts filled with gratitude and pride for all those who have served Canada in every time and place, those who made the ultimate sacrifice, as well as those who still carry the wounds of service in body and soul. We are grateful for the supreme sacrifice so many Canadians made and were ready to make on land, in the air, and at sea. We are grateful for all the veterans for putting their lives on hold and at risk in order to eliminate tyranny and defend liberty. We are grateful to the younger veterans and the older veterans who gather in mutual respect and admiration as partners in the battle against evil. We are grateful to them for fighting our fight to ensure freedom and dignity for everyone. We remember their deeds of courage, their acts of valor, and their willing sacrifice. During this time of remembrance, we think of those families whose lives have been changed by wars, where parents or children have been killed or permanently handicapped, where people have been forced to flee to safety, never to return to their homes. We think of their bravery, their courage, their sadness and loneliness, their suffering and pain. We remember, and we give thanks we've not had to live in a country at war. We remember those in trouble, sorrow, or distress, and especially at this time, disabled and wounded and all who must carry through the years a burden of suffering. Let not our gratitude fail or grow weary, but deepen our sympathy, that we may bear one another's burdens. May we comfort the sorrowful and the bereaved. especially those to whose hearts this day brings back the memory of loved ones who have fallen, counting the cost of their own lives as not too high a price to pay for the principles by which we live today.
As we prepare to lay wreaths in remembrance, the Catholic Central Chamber Choir now perform a composition by Eleanor Daly titled In Remembrance. This soulful piece offers comfort to we who mourn with the words of Mary Elizabeth Fry's poem, "Do not stand by my grave and weep." The Chamber Choir is conducted by Mrs. Shana Sway. Our first wreath was laid by the Silver Cross mother, Angela Cameron Jolly, whose son Brett was an air cadet with the 614 Squadron. He stood vigil here at the cenotaph. He was posthumously awarded the Sacrifice Medal after his life was cut short while attending the Royal Military College. She was accompanied by wreath bearer Colonel Blair Ashford. Each wreath laid here represents a group of people who acknowledge the sacrifice of those whose lives were given in service to their country. That wreath represents each individual of that organization and is a tribute to each of the soldiers' sacrifice and the connection death in service means to the bountiful freedom we live today. Each wreath we see laid here today and last evening and following our ceremony says we will remember them. And now representing Canada, local North Centre Peter Fargas, escorted by Staff Sergeant David Brown and accompanied by London Fanshawe MP Kurt Holman. Representing the province of Ontario, London North Centre MPP Terence Kernahan. The wreath bearer is OPP Sergeant Brian Griffith. He is accompanied by London West MPP Peggy Sadler and London Fanshawe MPP Teresa Armstrong. Representing our City of London, His Worship Mayor Josh Morgan, and the wreath bearer is London Police Chief Ty Trump. On behalf of the Canadian Armed Forces, Commander of HMCS Prevost, Janet Lang. The wreath bearer is Commanding Officer, Second in Command, Lee Trotter. Laying the Royal Canadian Legion wreath on behalf of all veterans is Captain Jerry Jurassic. Captain Jurassic is a member of the Order of the Military Merit, an appointment that recognizes outstanding meritorious service and demonstrated leadership in duties of great responsibility. His distinguished years of service include postings in Canada, Germany, and Afghanistan. The wreath bearer is Lieutenant Colonel Ian Haley. On behalf of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Chief Superintendent Chris Leather, and the wreath bearer, Sergeant Major Damien Smith. The IODE is responsible for this cenotaph. It was dedicated here November 10th, 1934. Laying a wreath on behalf of the Imperial Order of the Daughters of the Empire is Major Bruce Stock. You will find a brief history of the planning and organization of this cenotaph that started in 1919. It's included in your program, and it notes that it is a replica of the cenotaph that stands in Whitehall, London, England. If others wish to lay a wreath or leave their poppy, we ask you to wait until the parade is cleared. We note that under the command of Sergeant Lincoln Nicholson, sentries here represent Canada's Navy, Army, Air Force, and Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And now, led by the Catholic Central Chamber Choir, conducted by Mrs. Shane Swain, we ask you to join the singing of God Save the King. The ceremony will then be closed by Parade Chaplain Colonel Right Reverend Nigel Shaw.
Parade! Attention!
Let us be thankful for the life that is our privilege to enjoy in this land, remembering that it has been won at a great price and must be defended, and remembering that this life must be for all who inhabit this land. We are thankful for the peace we enjoy and for the opportunity that is ours of building a better order of society in this Canada for the generations still to come. We remember with pride and gratitude those who fought on the land, the sea, and in the skies to make this possible. And we pray that the memory of their self-giving may inspire us to invest our energy, our strength, and our resources to the cause of creating a land that truly offers justice and peace to all its children. May we give and not count the cost, fight and not heed the wounds, labor and not seek for rest, work and not ask for reward, save that of knowing that we have kept faith with those who died, that we have held high the torch that they lit and passed to our hands. As we remember this day those who laid down their lives in a spirit of unselfish service, let us pledge ourselves anew to dedicated lives of service so that we can make Canada what it ought to be, a place where those who are fortunate respond to the needs of those on the margins, a place that honors all traditions and accomplishments, a place where we stand to guard the rights of all against oppression in its many forms. May the memory of those who have died inspire our service to the living.
As the parade begins to march off, we ask the cooperation of those of you who are in the intersection to clear the way. And we remind you that the Remember November 11 organization is hosting a meet and greet in Centennial Hall. This is an opportunity for you to continue your remembrance, to become familiar with some of those who gave that great sacrifice through the displays, and to learn more about those who served. The parade will march off to the east on Dufferin Street. The reviewing officer is HMCS Prevost Commander Janet Lang, accompanied by London Mayor Josh Morgan. Thank you all for attending on this cold November morning. Your attendance here is appreciated by the veterans and by the serving forces. And we'd also like to thank the Salvation Army Jubilee Brass under the direction of Bandmaster David Russell, as well as the Catholic Central Choir.
All right, stand down. Hey!
We show our appreciation to those veterans who are now leaving in the buses.
How are you doing? I'm doing great. That's great. Parade! Attention! Parade will march past in column of route in succession by guard. Move to the right in column of route. Right turn! By the left, in succession, by guards. Quick, march!
HMCS Prevost! Eyes! Left!
I'm trying to flip around. I'm like, I'm gonna fall.